We're going live.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to our YouTube channel.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our YouTube channel. This is the Four-Side Pod, and it's Champions League Tuesday. A couple of games went on today. We had the Liverpool PSG game. We had the Barcelona Atletico Madrid game with Barcelona going through, with Atletico going through, but Barcelona winning on the night.
You want to read it for them? God, I'll beg.
On this episode, we'll be talking about the Liverpool PSG game where PSG won that game 2-0, 4-0 on aggregate. This is shocking because this game was at Anfield and Liverpool had no goals in the first leg, and yet they couldn't score in the second leg. What went on in that game?
I think it's honestly nobody should be surprised. I think today's match was like the accumulation of the Liverpool problem, right?
Yeah.
Incompetence in almost every area, right? Salah is done for. When he came in, not more change. What's his name? Everything. Like, I mean, it was so bad. It was even worse that this guy got injured again, Ekitike.
Ekitike.
Honestly, what went wrong was what has been going wrong with Liverpool all season, right? Just inconsistency in every area, right? In the midfield, I don't even know who is there. It's just Grafenberg and maybe McAllister making a few slides. Nothing major. It's just so painful.
I mean, I looking at the lineup, he had set up again the 4-2-2-2 formation. I don't know how what that translated in the game, but again, it was good to see Isaac back, and he looks like one of the players with the least rating. What do you make of his performance in this game?
Again, I'm not surprised. He's just back from injury. I think it would be unfair to judge Isaac by games like this, right? They're high intensity games, games where you need heavy pressing. There were two things they needed to do in this game. They needed to defend properly and also attack properly. For a team like Liverpool, even if you had 12 Isaacs, they could not have done anything significant in this game. Isaac was okay, but again, it was just a show. They were slow to react. Their passes were just uncoordinated. It was just playing around. The only spark we got was when Ngomoa came on. Came on, and it was so unfortunate that you have to rely on the 17. How old is Ngomoa now? 16 or 17.
Yeah.
We went on 17-year-old kid to bring magic, and I have a 30-something-year-old Salah who was just redundant when he came on, right? So honestly, I don't know, man. I feel for Slot. It just shows he's either a terrible scouting manager or is just not Liverpool standard, in all fairness.
I mean, for somebody who didn't watch this game live, when you look at these stats, Liverpool had all the possession, 53%. Liverpool were ahead with the expected goals, that is 1.94 to 1.25. Liverpool had 21 total shots to 12. But out of those 21 shots, only 5 were on target. And PSG had 6 shots on target. Big chances missed. They were even at 2-2. What is it that
I watched this game.
Liverpool needs to do?
Bro, when I lost 5-2, I had slightly more possession than PSG in Paris. Bro, see, the PSG game is not built around. I think Enrique has learned the art of progressive possession. You see, you don't see Vitinha. See, when Juan Neves was with the ball, he's looking up like it's progressive. There's no. So while Liverpool were doing the sideway passes, trying to work with the wings, that you're dead on the wings. So even when Isaac left and Ekitike got injured, Cody Gakpo has shown that I don't know what's wrong with Cody these days. Cody is almost like at that Garnacho level of terrible wingership at this point. So honestly, like Cody, Liverpool fans are tired of Cody at this point. We don't know what's going on. So it's not by possession. It's not by. I don't think it's just One, there's a serious management problem. I don't think another manager, if I had given Klopp this team, I don't think they will lose this badly or they will be performing. That's the thing. So they're not having the best of players, but I don't think these same players under a Klopp would perform like this. There's something wrong, fundamentally wrong from a management perspective that maybe needs to be discussed, but there's nothing else they would have done. You don't need Liverpool, you don't need possession to play against the PSG. It was Papa. The 2 goals were on the counter. Pap, he got it. He scored. The second one was even so funny. Literally was an empty. Like how was Dembele isolated to score? Like he was. I mean, there's nothing. There's just so shameful for Liverpool and English football in general.
Yeah, I mean, you are spot on there. But now let's focus on the PSG team themselves.
Okay.
You know, they have been I think Usas had called them the destroyers of English teams.
Destroy.
You know,
True.
what is, with the exception of Man United, and I think that they're going to have a preseason match, so maybe we can show you guys how it's done at that time. But is it too early to? I mean, we'll have the Ballon d'Or conversation very soon, but who will you say that PSG are the number one favorites for this season's Champions League?
I'll say yes, because they're doing what they did to win it less than a year ago. That's again, what does it take to be champions? Concede less, score more, and they're doing it perfectly well. I can't guarantee they have a better defense than Bayern Munich. To be fair, I mean, man for man, apart from Upamecano, who else on the flank? Is it Mendes and Hakimi? Stop now. Like, there's no comparison in terms of fullback. In the midfield, let's tell ourselves the truth. There is no comparison. Vitinha is literally one of the best midfielders in the world, right? Even in the absence of Fabian Ruiz, we have Zaire Emery. That guy is less than 20 and he's balling like with so much maturity. So if you look at it, if I take out Diaz and Olise, I don't really see any potency. And maybe Leonard Carr comes in and maybe Musiala, who's just getting back from his serious injury. I see them as contenders because they are doing exactly, they are making it right at the time when it matters. The kind of ball you're playing in March, April, May. This is what it takes. Nobody cares what he played in December. Nobody cares what he played in August, right? When the competition started. So yeah, I see them as winners, to be honest. These are winners play.
All right. And then for Liverpool, there was the Ekitike injury.
Yeah, that was a
What does that do to the rest of Liverpool's season? What does that mean for Ekitike World Cup chances?
So I was going to go to that, but for what it means for Liverpool, it was one of their best attackers, if not the best attacker actually, right? But he has not been the best of forms, and for him to get injured is just a bowser. It's a big no-show. It's a big blow for Liverpool, and I don't know how they're going to get. They're going to rely on that kid. Cody is a no-show. I don't know how long Greer is going to carry the entire Liverpool team. I guess they can now focus on maybe a top 5 finish in the Premier League. But what this means for Ekitike's World Cup, I mean, it's a tough one, man. In the squad where there's heavy competition, there's Bakola, there's Doué, there's Dembouz, there's Dembele for that same sport, there's Thuram, you see how we are in Turkey. Like, that attacking option is just so packed that someone who is just recovering from an ankle injury, I honestly don't see how he tore his Achilles tendon, bro. That is not something you want. I know the last person who had something worse was this dude, Presnell Kimpembe, and it took a toll on him. So Achilles injuries tendon tears are strong and can be very, very tough to fight through. So I team out of the World Cup. You shouldn't even bother. I should heal properly and come back next season. Yeah.
I know you said PSG is the favorite. Just in case that's something miraculous happened in the Real Madrid Bayern Munich game, and just by virtue of Madrid's Champions League heritage, they go through tomorrow. Does that still change your position on PSG?
PSG will beat it. So that's okay. My position was based on two of them. The same thing. I mean, the previous episode I asked you either of them. So right, it's even easier if it's a Madrid team. This Madrid team is in shambles, right? They're
Yeah,
uncoordinated. Yes, they have fire attack. Yes, they might score you a few goals, but I can't guarantee you not boxing. They will beat Madrid on a good day, like paper for paper, right? For Bayern Munich might be a very tough one because I mean, Vincent Company has shown like pure manager tactical prowess, right? So that would be a tough one if they end up with a Bayern, because again, I know what company can do, right?
yeah.
When it comes to tactics, to be a tough one. But for Madrid, it's an easy win. Abrela is out of his depth, so I don't really see someone who is playing to what Mbappe and Vini are literally the coach, the managers for that Madrid team. So yeah, I see them winning. Whoever comes out from all four. If it's an Arsenal versus Arsenal, they will beat Arsenal. They will beat Atletico. Obviously, they will beat Sporting Lisbon. So I see them as the best team in the UCL at the moment. Yeah.
Oh, fair enough. Just before we close this episode, last season we had this very close Ballon d'Or competition between Ousmane Dembele and Rafinha. Unfortunately, Rafinha
Yamal.
has been injured most of this season. Who and now Yamal is out of the Champions League.
Yeah.
Do you think anyone comes close to Ousmane Dembele at this
Yes.
point?
Oh yeah. Come on, Usman. I think Usman. I will not even rate Dembele above Yamal, to be honest. In terms of,
Yeah.
I think Dembele does this every time. Man will be quiet, just spring up when there's this recency bias out, and I think he's a fortunate lad. But honestly, if there's a Bayern PSG final, I mean, I'm tipping it to Olise, right? Michael Olise has an amazing season. Forget about the goals that Kane has scored, but I think Olise is the front runner. I'll put Olise, then Bulls, then Yamal, right? In that order, right? And
Okay.
nobody, I don't know anybody else who can. Yeah.
Let's see how that pans out because this is also a World Cup year. So
Oh,
depending on
but,
how the France and
well,
Spanish national team,
Maka,
progress in the World Cup, that
French
will also
journalist
have
and co. Yeah, true.
a huge impact on the Ballon d'Or. But yeah, it's a wrap. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching our match reactions on the Champions League. Remember to subscribe, remember to like, comment, and share our post. Until next time, same time tomorrow, we'll be bringing you the reactions on the Arsenal game and the Bayern Real Madrid game. All right, guys, take care.